Before the world sees your wins, your soul has to feel your work. It's the reps nobody applauds that produce the wins that do, all through a shifting of your identity into a dominator. This is all done in the dark every single day. So let me be your guide as I welcome you to this episode of the Dark Work Daily. The story you keep telling yourself is keeping you small. It's not an easy thing to hear, but it's a truth we all have to own up to. And honestly, we all have a story. I don't care who you are. Every person has a story about why they are where they are in their lives right now. You can try to blame it on somebody else. You can try to own the ownership of it. No matter what it is, there's a story that runs. I grew up in this household. I went to this school. I didn't go to that school. I have this life because my parents did this, or my dad did this, or this took place in my country, or I grew, whatever it is, right? There's always this story, right? And for some people, that story, it's a weapon. It's a way to do better. For me, it's a weapon. The way that I look at my life now, the thing I went through as a kid in foster care and being given away, and the heinous people I dealt with, it's a weapon for me. I don't let anybody just walk into my life and do craziness. And on top of that, I am a walking, talking example of how something like that can fire you up to be great, piss you off for greatness. But for some people, it's a cage. They keep themselves stuck somewhere because of a story they've got running in their head because of something that took place that oftentimes they had no control over. It's a narrative that you repeat in your head. It either keeps you moving or it keeps you planted right where you're at. For many people, I place the majority of people in the bucket of it keeps them planted. The idea is I want to challenge you to actually audit the story that you have running on and ask yourself, is this story built for the life you have or the life that you want? Because for a lot of us, when we're living these lives, we're not happy with the life we have. We want something more, but we don't comprehend that the story that we keep telling ourselves, that story is what's keeping us there. I'll break this down for you. If you were to think about the life you want, that life you want has a certain level of actions. Things that have to be done, habits in place, perspectives, a way you see the world, different opportunities that may be there. There's a certain way that a person has to operate to have that be their life. And I don't care what that thing is. You want to be a great musician, we know, requires an instrument, requires practice, requires maybe some mentorship and doing certain things, opportunities to put yourself out there to take, the stage and present and show the world how great that you are at something. And for a lot of people, that could be the idea of what they want, and it's great. But then you have to go, okay, well, what's the story they're telling themselves that's making that not a reality? Because if you have that life as a goal and there's habits there, the story behind a person creates the actions that create the outcome of that. Meaning, if you see yourself as smart, intelligent, capable, supported, whatever it is, you'll do things actionably, habitually, that move that into your life or move you into that level of life. But if you want that, there's certain things to get there. Well, if you keep telling yourself, I'm stupid, I don't have the ability, I don't have the friends, I don't have the connections, I don't have the X, Y, and Z, whatever it is, well, then what happens is you don't do the things actionably or habitually that bring that into your life. Now, this is one challenge that is, I believe, the challenge upon all challenges to get what you want most out of life. Because oftentimes a story isn't a bad story. It's just not at the level that your life wants to be at. Maybe your story had a great childhood. You had a great family. Maybe you had great opportunities, went to a great school, you had a great job, but you find yourself feeling as though you could be doing more. Your life could be more fun, more expressive, more abundant. Maybe you realize the family beliefs and visions that you were instilled within you aren't ones you want to carry anymore. But you keep telling yourself, that's what I have to do, and that's who I am. So what do? You keep that same story, which then keeps the same habits, which then keeps the same actions, which maintains the same life. Maybe you want to make more money. Maybe you want to have more freedom. Maybe you want to give back differently. Maybe you want to change the way that you show up in the world in some manner. Change your appearance for some. Who knows what it is, right? Change your clothes, different fashion. I don't know, listen to different music. Well, the thing is, if you choose to have a life later on that's like that, we got to stop right now and go, what story have we told ourselves that we're living into to make this what it is? And what story do we have to change and live into to make our lives different? And I will tell you this, that it's a very uncomfortable journey to take. I grew up in this. I grew up in a space where I was told that, man, people that have money, they're horrible people. Only way they can get that money is by doing horrible, heinous things to other people in the world. They had to rob and steal, and that's why they're millionaires. I was told this. I hated rich people. I thought they were all bad, all evil. And what do we not want to be? We don't want to be evil. So the story I told myself was, not only do I not like the situation and it's their fault, but I don't want to do anything that gets me closer to being like them because they're bad. So I confined myself in a life that I thought was honorable, integrous, and just, not knowing it was a lie. People that have money, it doesn't mean that they're evil. It just means they did something, usually at a level of work, to be able to earn that. I played professional football. I wasn't evil. I worked my tail off to beat a lot of people out integriously and honestly to make a good living. When I got into business, my goal wasn't to step on the little guy. It was to go, how can I serve somebody at such a high level and create so much value that this person is happy to give me money to solve their problem in some area that I can produce a result for them. It's not a bad thing. It's like the money goes, if you want to call it that, towards the people who find ways to earn it. Now, can some people earn it unethically? Of course, that's possible. Is that the majority? Absolutely not. But the story I grew up with framed it this way. And so I lived in that confining story for so many years, not realizing I want to have a life where I don't have to worry about the price tag, worry about paying my kids' school, having them go wherever they want, have whatever opportunities my kids want. I want to be able to take my wife out and do something, pay my mortgage. I don't want to wake up every day going, how am I going to pay the rent today and tomorrow and next month? I didn't want that stress, but the story I had in my head kept me there until I realized, how do I find a way to rewrite the story? That money is very easy to come by if you choose to do the hard work to be valuable to the world. So when you create a solution, the world wants to reciprocate and bring money to your pocket and go, thank you so much for solving my problem. If you step back from life for just a moment and realize that the story you keep telling yourself is keeping you stuck, then maybe you give yourself a chance to write a new story and then in time live a new life. Because a life that you are looking to live later on cannot exist if you keep existing in the exact same story you have now. If this episode stirred something in you, good. That means there's work to be done. Don't ignore it, because listening is just the beginning. Because real change happens when you engage and you commit. So I invite you to join the Dark Work community inside the Dark Work app, which is where you communicate with amazing people on the same journey as you. You can find them on the App Store and the Google Play Store right now. Step into the conversations that sharpen your habits, strengthen your identity, and keep you locked in to the Dark Work.